phrasing, as it travels clockwise from Aries to Taurus and then reversing the process travels from Aries to Pisces. We will consider the dualities provided by one of these constellations, and its opposite. We will study, therefore, the great qualities provided by a constellation and its opposite sign. We will take up these points in the following manner. 1. From the standpoint of commencement in Aries until the man through many turnings of the wheel of life reaches the point of reversal and reorientation. The man progresses from the point where, in Cancer, he forms a part of the mass with the mass consciousness, inchoate and unfocused, and with no recognition of objective, except the satisfaction of instinctual desire, until in Scorpio he becomes the triumphant disciple, having found himself in Leo. Then comes the crisis of reorientation, which may take a long time, and constitute an interlude of many lives of struggle. 2. From the standpoint of the man upon the probationary path, seeking the light, struggling through the signs, as the old commentary expresses it when considering this point. He turns from right to left, and then again from left to right. He revolves in giddy fashion upon an axis of desire. He knows not where to go or what to do. The sky turns black. At this point, the sign Gemini begins potently to play its part in the life of the disciples, with Sagittarius gradually piercing the heart with his arrows, and then upon the flight of the arrow, the man reaches Capricorn. Then comes the crisis of renunciation. 3. From the standpoint of the pledged disciple and initiate who traverses again the path of the sun and finds that which he has discovered himself to be in Leo finds its crown in Aquarius. The separative individual consciousness becomes the group consciousness in Aquarius, and he begins to comprehend the significance of that basic combination of signs, that triangle in the consciousness of humanity. Cancer, Leo, Aquarius. Mass awareness, individual awareness, group awareness. Instinctual consciousness, intelligent consciousness, intuitive consciousness. Then, from the standpoint of achievement in Capricorn, he works for several lives around the zodiacal path, descending into the sea of the mass consciousness to become what is called in the ancient books, the crab, who clears the ocean of matter which flows around the soul of man, and eventually to become a functioning world savior in Pisces. He descends into the world of men to save mankind, and to further the plan. He is then the fish who swims free in the ocean of matter. The initiate has always to express, in each sign of the zodiac, the consummation and the spiritual fruit of earlier life experience, world experiment and soul achievement. Selfishness has ever to be translated into living active service, and desire has to demonstrate its transmutation in the purity of spiritual aspiration for identification with the will of God. There are 1 or 2 points which must be dealt with in order to enable you to study with certain definite ideas clearly formulated in your minds. I have hinted at them in some of my earlier books, but it will be of service to refer to them again, and to expand the ideas somewhat. I would have you carry them in your minds as you read and study. I have frequently referred to the fact that the entire science of astrology is based upon a non-existent condition. It has no basis in material fact, and yet is eternally based on truth. The zodiac is, as you well know, the imaginary path of the sun in the heavens. It is therefore largely an illusion, from the exoteric point of view. But at the same time the constellations exist, and the streams of energy which pass and repass, intermingle and interlock throughout the body of space are by no means illusions but definitely express eternal relationships. It is the misuse of the various energies which has created the illusion. This illusory path is consequently as much a reality to humanity today, as are the personality illusions of any individual. These illusions are due to the polarization of the individual upon the astral plane. It is interesting also to note in this connection that due to the precession of the equinoxes a fourth type of force is brought to bear upon the planet and man, but one which is seldom recognized and given due place in the horoscope. The month and the sign, or the place of the sun in the heavens, do not really coincide. When we state, for instance, that the sun is in Aries, it conveys an esoteric truth but not an exoteric fact. The sun was in Aries at the beginning of this great cycle, but it is not in exactly the same position today, when it is found in that sign. Also it should be remembered that as it is necessary to know the moment of birth, and the place of birth in casting the horoscope of the individual, so in order to have a perfectly correct understanding, and accurate deductions in connection with the constellation, the planets and our Earth, there should be a fixed time from which to reckon. That fixed time is as yet unknown in esoteric astrology, though the hierarchy possesses the needed information and it will be made available when the right time comes. It is the knowledge of this inner information which constitutes the basis of the statements which I have made or will make, which will seem revolutionary to the orthodox investigator. There has to be a constant rectification of the earlier conclusions of humanity, and of this the outstanding instance is the statement in the Bible that the prime date of creation is 4004 BC. This is recognized as an error by modern science, but is still believed by many. I earlier gave a hint upon which definite astrological computation could be based when I gave the time of the great approach of the hierarchy to our planetary manifestation when individualization took place and the fourth kingdom in nature appeared. I placed that stupendous event as happening 21,688,345 years ago. At that time the sun was in Leo. The process then initiated upon the physical plane, and producing outer physical events took approximately 5,000 years to mature, and the sun was in Gemini, when the final crisis of individualization took place, and the door was then closed upon the animal kingdom. It has been stated that Sagittarius governs human evolution, as the sun was in that sign when the hierarchy began its approach in order to stimulate the forms of life upon our planet. Sagittarius, however, governed the period of the subjective approach. The sun was in Leo when physical plane individualization took place as a result of the applied stimulation. The sun was in Gemini when this approach was consummated by the founding of the hierarchy upon the earth. This is one of the great secrets which the Masonic rituals typify, for the symbol of the sign, Gemini, is the source of the concept of the two pillars, so familiar to Masons. It might therefore be stated that, symbolically speaking, 1. Leo governs the A degree. 2. Gemini governs the F C degree. 3. Sagittarius governs the degree of M up to the episode of the raising of the Master, and that Capricorn governs the final part of the ceremony, and the H R A. It is always confusing to the beginner who has not yet a developed and trained intuition to reconcile the seeming discrepancies and apparent contradictions which appear in the teaching of the ageless wisdom. The same difficulty will be met with in the science of astrology, and some reference to the matter is in order at this point. I would remind you of the occult truism which states that interpretation and right understanding are based upon the stage of the development of the individual. H.P.B. remarked in The Secret Doctrine, that for some people the highest principle of which they can be consciously aware might be a very low one for another person. The constellations and the planets which govern them may, and do, have one effect upon the mass, and another upon the average individual man, and still a third effect upon the disciple or the initiate. As the various energies and forces circulate throughout the etheric body of our solar system, Their reception and effect will depend upon the state of the planetary centers and upon the point of unfoldment of the centers in individual man. That is why the various charts and tabulations can differ so widely, and different planets can appear as ruling the constellations. There seems to be no fixed rule, and the student gets bewildered. Orthodox astrology posits one set of planetary rulers, and they are correct as far as the mass of humanity is concerned. But the disciple, who lives above the diaphragm, responds to another combination, and it is with these that I shall principally deal. That is why the three charts here given do not appear to coincide. They are drawn up to express the situation in regard to three groups. 1. The mass of people, who conform to orthodox and recognized astrological conclusions. 2. Disciples and advanced individuals, conforming to the conclusions of esoteric astrology. 3. The creative hierarchies, giving the interim situation in this world cycle. Tabulation IV. The orthodox astrological relationship constellations, and planetary rulers, in connection with ordinary man constellation ruler ray related to 1. Aries Mars 6th ray Scorpio. Same ruler. 2. Taurus Venus 5th ray Libra. 3. Gemini Mercury 4th ray Virgo. 4. Cancer Moon 4th ray known. 5. Leo the Sun 2nd ray known. 6. Virgo Mercury 4th ray Gemini. 7. Libra Venus 5th ray Taurus. 8. Scorpio Mars 6th ray Aries. 9. Sagittarius Jupiter 2nd ray Pisces. 10. Capricorn Saturn 3rd ray known. 11. Aquarius Uranus 7th ray known. 12. Pisces Jupiter 2nd ray Sagittarius. A. The non-sacred planets are italicized. B. All the rays are represented except the first. This is interesting, as the mass of the people move within their horoscopes and the will aspect is latent but unexpressed. Tabulation V. The unorthodox astrological relationship constellations and planetary rulers, in connection with disciples and initiates. Note. In charts connected with the path, progresses from Aries to Pisces through Taurus, etc. Constellation ruler ray related to 1. Aries Mercury 4th ray Virgo same ray. 2. Taurus Vulcan 1st ray Pisces. 3. Gemini Venus 5th ray known. 4. Cancer Neptune 6th ray Scorpio. 5. Leo the Sun 2nd ray Aquarius. 6. Virgo the Moon 4th ray Aries. 7. Libra Uranus 7th ray known. 8. Scorpio Mars 6th ray Cancer. 9. Sagittarius the Earth 3rd ray Capricorn. 10. Capricorn Saturn 3rd ray Sagittarius. 11. Aquarius Jupiter 2nd ray Leo. 12. Pisces Pluto 1st ray Taurus. Note. In connection with disciples and the zodiacal signs, Gemini and Libra are two constellations which through their rulers express 5th and 7th ray energy. For some occult reason, they remain unrelated to any other of the signs. The relation between the other constellations through the planets, as expressing the rays, is as follows: 1. Taurus and Pisces, through Vulcan and Pluto.